Hi there and good morning. My name is Rebecca Stark and I am come to you with one of my DNF or Do Not Fear verses videos in which I try to find all of the places the Bible says do not fear or do not be afraid or some equivalent, somewhere in that vicinity. So I found a couple of fabulous verses, so I'm just going to dive in. And we're going to do, I might even get 2 videos hammered out today, but we'll see how they go. So the first one is Deuteronomy, and it's Deuteronomy chapter 1. So if you know the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is the 5th book of the Bible. And what's significant about it is those first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, those are referred to as the Torah. So those are referred to as the sacred text of the Jews. So not an expert, not just, no official biblical training aside from just going to the church, but that's just what I hear and what they say is those are the 5 key ones. So we're the last of those 5 really key books of the Old Testament, and we're in Deuteronomy chapter 1, so we're just starting out. So just a little reminder of what's going on in this, the context, what's going on around here helps because it makes sense what we're going to see in this verse. But so in a lot happens in the first 5 books, but officially in the book of Deuteronomy, the Israelites are going to finally move into the promised land. And this is the land that God has been promising the Israelites, basically those whole 5 books of the Bible. I mean, there's a little more. There's a lot more going on than just that. But that's just to give you a little gist. And Moses has been leading the people. If you know of the Passover, if you know of the Exodus, if you know, remember, the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, and Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, out of slavery, into the wilderness. They wandered through the wilderness, and God kept promising the Israelites, I will take you to the promised land. So this is the Israelites preparing to go into the promised land. And here's what Deuteronomy 1, chapter 1, verse 21 says. See, the Lord your God has set the land before you. Go up, take possession, as the Lord, the God of your fathers, has told you. Do not fear or be dismayed. So there you go. There's your do not fear. And this is one of those true, no questions asked. This verse says, do not fear. So it's interesting because I read through the Bible every year. I read through the Bible on my own. I read through the Bible with my son. So here we are. We're at Deuteronomy chapter 1 as the Israelites are preparing to go into the promised land. And the next step is they're going to be in the promised land. There's obviously a lot that happens. My son and I just watched the nation of Israel fracture. So, spoiler alert, preview of coming attractions in the Bible. There's a little kerfluffle going on with the cat and the dog, but I'm not going to worry about that. So eventually all 12 tribes of Israel come together. They create one great nation. That great nation is officially under King David. King Saul is king over a few of the tribes, then King David, and then Solomon comes in. And Solomon, we were just talking about Solomon because we were reading about Solomon with my son, and Solomon did some good things, but he also did some not good things. So what this verse is saying is the Lord your God has set the land before you. Go up and take possession just as the Lord has told you. Do not fear or be dismayed. And I think fear comes in. I think that's what we see And that's why we eventually see Israel fracturing. But in any case, as the people are heading in to the promised land, so sorry. I'm gonna pop up as soon as this video is done and go see what's going on with this little noise over here. But all we need to know and remember is that as the Israelites are heading into the promised land, God is saying, don't fear, don't be dismayed. I've told you this all along, so just go ahead and do it. So that's just my little reminder for you today that this verse reminds us of, and that we see over and over in the Bible. God has to keep telling his people, don't be afraid. I've got this. Don't worry. Just do the things I've asked you to do. That's all that God's asking us to do. Be faithful. Honor him. Excuse the puppy dog there. But do not fear. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.